Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuramedeva Sarvakarishu Sarvadam Ganganapade Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sarva Mangal Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Shri Swami Narayanaya Namaha Shri Lakshmi Narayanaya Namaha Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 22nd of October 2024. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan residing in the heart of each being. With that prarthana, we are continuing to examine the significance of vairagyam in relation to tyaga, tyaga meaning renunciation or keeping sense experience within a certain boundary, and how that relates to vairagya, and that as a doorway, that state of vairagya as a doorway into that param drishtva, to see God, Bhagwan ko dekhna. Who doesn't want, if you ask the average person who believes in God, do you want to see God actually? My goodness, what is that? Yes, it's possible. Why not? Definitely it's possible. But to do so, there are transformative processes that need to take hold to actually perceive the Paramatma. So the transformation of our mental activity, internal activity in linking with Paramatma has many factors. It has a certain cognitive thought level factor, emotional factor, affective mechanisms, cognitive mechanisms, behavioral mechanisms, neurological and genetic factors are also there. Quite a few factors are present so that the actual preparation is there to get a glimpse even of the Atma and the Paramatma. What we see and what is in the purview of our five senses is the world, this bhautik jagat, worldly anubhav. But it is possible for the bhakta to be linked in bhakti, linked with Bhagavan through bhakti. And that is, bhakti means sneha, means great binding. It's a very strong binding towards the one that you love. That is called sneha. So that binding towards the one that we love, towards the Ishta Devata, with the bhavana that this is God, that this is Paramatma, that creates a mystical dimension to open where glimpses of the Atma begin to open. Now, what are those glimpses? What is it actually? Well, several things happen. One is that the mind is very, very clear. It is brimming with Brahma Vidya. And then as it brims and as the connection with Paramatma intensifies, one begins to have mystical experiences. You begin to see different color lights. They're not this kind of light. It's a transcendental light. There's a bluish color light. There is a white color, not white, but it's not really color. It's difficult to describe. You begin to, just that crack opens into who you really are. And it begins to open, and then slowly, as the bhakta gets absorbed in God, eventually the Atma reveals itself that this is me, what I am not. How do you describe it? It's really not describable. It is the witnessing consciousness. It is sometimes described as the light of millions of suns. It is beyond the chakras. So in the intermediate stage of devotion and bhakti and sadhana and yoga and all that, the chakra system can open up due to the intense concentration on God. Yes, the chakra system will open. Chakras are intermediate. They are the windows into the Atma, all 9 of them. The chakras are spinning vortices. They are spun by the Kundalini Shakti. And they are lit. They are lit up. So the yogi sees these chakras in dhyana. In the deepest of meditation, these chakras begin to reveal themselves. It's a mystical opening. And in that mystical opening, the chakras reveal, and they are at that point also at the level of the chakras. The yogi can go into any part of the Brahmand or even outside the Brahmand and travel anywhere. You go because now the connection is opened out of the limited experience we have now. This is called Yoga Samadhi. There is Jnana Samadhi. There is Yoga Samadhi. There are so many types of Samadhi, by the way. Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sampragnat Samadhi, Asampragnat Samadhi, Jnana Samadhi, Kaivalya Samadhi, Prem Samadhi. The list goes on. But they all have one thing in common, that there is a breakage out of the prison of Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti avasthas due to the 3 gunas of Maya. There is something new that opens out of the 3 gunas of Maya. Now, the chakra system and mystical experiences, yes. There is a massive scripture called Shat Chakra Nirupan. I'm going to cover this in the Vachanamrut recordings in detail. We are touching upon it because we don't have that much time every day to go. We need many, many hours to discuss. Those other separate recordings are being made for that. But the Shat Chakra Nirupan is an intensely well-written scripture. And there's many nadis that open. See, there's something called Medha Nadi. If a yogi observes brahmacharya, urdhvareta, naishtik brahmacharya without the discharge of semen from the body for 12 years, it's called urdhvareta brahmachari, and the Medha Nadi opens. Vivekananda Swami had that. Vivekananda Swami had memorized, just reading the entire encyclopedia, he was 99% accurate. He could remember every word from every place. Why is that? Medha Nadi. Yes. I have met some Swaminarayan sadhus like this. They have this is opened up. Even if you have met them 10, 15 years ago, had a 2-minute conversation about something, they'll tell you exactly what the conversation was. And because the entire sexual energy is transmuted into ojas stored inside, of course, inside the brain and the Sukshma Sharira, but it's more than that. That entire energy has opened up a dimension, has opened up a dormant nadi. Nadi is not these nerves, these physical nerves, but spiritual nerve. So the photographic memory comes. It's intense memory comes through the opening of Medha Nadi. Because of pure Naishtik Brahmacharya. Who had this? Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Vivekananda Swami, Shriji Maharaj, Bhagwan Swaminarayan, right from birth. So many of his Paramahansas, Gopalananda Swami, Gunaditananda Swami, etc. Today also, there are many great saints who have. This is possible in the female body also. So the entire vasanas are completely transmuted into pure brahmacharya. Now, there are some other ways to think about this. About the subject of brahmacharya is an extensive and difficult subject to discuss. So there are two types of brahmacharya also. There is the Naishtika brahmacharya, like Shukdev Goswami, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Vivekanand Swami, Shriji Maharaj, Swami Ram Tirth. Swami Ram Tirth in the Woods of God Realization. 7-8 volumes are there. And he is a strict brahmacharya. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Shivanand Baba. So many are there. Shivanand Swami from the Divine Life organization. So many are there. He's written a book actually on brahmacharya. And there's many others. But then there's also the householders who are like Janaka Raja. They are engaged in the activity of the senses, including the sexual activity, but they're also brahmacharis because they have mastered Sankhya. So in the householder realm, there was Parvat Bhai, was a farmer, very enlightened farmer of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. He had 9 children, but his sthiti, wo Brahmi sthiti mein hi the. So that is a different path. There are 2 different paths. People don't know all this thing. They get a lot of confusion. Isme bahut confusion hai. And this is discussed. Vachanamrut, Garada Madhya 20, and so many places this is all discussed. At some point, we'll have to hold some special seminar or something on this, It's just I'm just mentioning it here only. Why? Because of this ichha. These ichhas don't go away. Doesn't matter, body becomes old. Ichhas don't become old. You see the seniors, maybe somebody has passed away. They're still looking for dates and looking for going for somewhere. Kya ante vasna ka? Kisi ka ant hua hai? Show me even one person. Kanakakantana sutrena veshtitam sakalam jagat. Srimad Bhagavatam में लिखा है पूरा विश्व इसमें इसके बंधन में ही है. इसके running. इसकी कोई तृप्ति नहीं होती, कभी भी नहीं होती. This is what Gita is teaching us. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. Even those who are trying to restrict and control and put the boundaries around all that, the tyaga, as Nishkuranand Swami is saying, the root seed desire is still there, and that will pop right up. That's the remainder of the poem. We'll get to that later on. That when the opportunity comes, it is going to sprout up. The desire opens up so tremendously due to the deficiency of vairagya and jnana. What an amazing baat hai ye. Hardly anyone has ever realized these things. Very few. Most people are trapped inside Maya. They're trapped inside Raga and Dvesha, inside Bhoga, Bhoktaram. They're stuck inside. Bodies, right from teenage onwards, these desires, they come and there iski trupti nahi hai. Rasaswad ki trupti nahi hai. You see many times as the elderly people, their body cannot handle, but they are still, I want to eat this and I want to eat this and I want to go there and I want to do this. Koi antar mein koi trupti nahi hai. Why is that? Body cannot do anything, but vasana is as fresh as ever. Not in everybody, but in many people. This is why Bhagwan ke jo mantra hai, sadhana hai, from childhood, from teenage, start at any point, Bhagwan ka naam lena. The more name, that's one of the reasons why every day we do half an hour to almost sometimes 40 minutes. Why we do all these mantras and stotras and all this thing we do, because that is going to transform at levels which we don't even realize, all of us in the world. We don't know. We don't even know how deeply these things are embedded within. So it gets transformed. Or Bhagwan ki krupa se ye sab transformation ho sakta hai. Any point it can happen. It doesn't have to start in childhood. It can happen at any point. But this is the fact. So when a bhakta, a yogi, a devotee really is evolving spiritually, there is phenomenal freedom, wonderful. अंतरिक्ष बहुत freedom मिलता है इसमें. There's a lot of freedom is there. And then if a person goes further, the glimpses of the Atma begin to open. The chakra system opens. And then one does activity in the sansar. But sansar की activity 3 गुण में ही है. सत्वगुण, रजोगुण, तमोगुण. इसमें कुछ नया नहीं है. It seems new. There's nothing new. But we still continue in the world as if anybody else is continuing. But it's not new. What's new in it? Eating, drinking, sleeping, mating, this, that. कोई नया तो क्रिया सब चलती है. But time is utilized. The time that is available through this extraordinary body is a time and energy are utilized for bhakti to transform out of bhog, B and B, Airbnb, new interpretation. The air is that, we want to be floating in bhakti. From bhog to bhakti. That's fine. And if we just want to stay in bhog, well, it's a one-way ticket back into somebody's womb again. Be ready for it. We don't think about these things. That when this body goes, what experience we will have, where we will wind up. इसीलिए भगवान के साथ पूर्ण प्रेम, पूर्ण शरणागति, पूर्ण आश्रय. Love for all. But no engulfment of intrapsychic attachment towards anybody or anything. Not towards anybody, not towards anything, not towards anyone. And with love for all. Wishing well for the family. Family becomes beautiful. When we are no longer entangled inside the family, there is real love for the family. Then we reach Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and the actual family structure is so beautiful. Then bhakti is done. Then God is worshipped. And not only that, the bhavna is the highest, is the purest bhavna. Isme the ahankar is not present. Me versus you versus this versus that, bashing, thrashing, taking each other's faults. All those things are very troublesome. Hankering after property, what is in somebody's will, how much I'm going to get, how much somebody's going to get. All this thing leads to rebirth. All of it. It is a one-way ticket into Garbhavas. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam, iha sansare, bahudustare, bhaja govindam, pahi murari bhaja govindam. Shankaracharya Ji has written 36 verses Bhaja Govindam Stotra, and this is the first one. This is not the first one. This is one of those 36. And he is very clear. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam, iha sansare. Bahudustare, kripaya pare, pahi murari. Bhaja Govindam, Bhagwan Govinda ki, Paramatma ki bhakti karna. Don't waste 1 second even. This is the kind of awakening that is needed to realize God. Then he has also stated, Shariram surupam sadaroga muktam yasha charu chitram dhanameru tulyam gururandri padne manashena lagnam tatakim 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 tatakim. Might have the best body, the most attractive body. Shariram surupam Sada roga muktam, always disease free. Such a body. Dhana meru tulyam. Meru Parvat is the highest mountain in the Brahman. That much some dhan, wealth somebody has. May have every material object at the highest level. Guru Randri Padne Manashena Lagnam. Lagni Satpurush के साथ, भगवान के जो बड़े बड़े संत है, ब्रह्म विद्या के साथ. इसके साथ जब लग्नि, when we have that, unless that is there, he says a person has done nothing. All this thing that is there, it will just keep person entrapped inside Maya. So the destination is Param Dham, not Garbhavas. Think about it. Kitni vichitra baat hai ye. If you see a pregnant lady, immediately these thoughts can come into the mind. My goodness, this should not happen to me. I don't want to wind up in the womb again. Not at all, not at all. Wind up in the womb, the cycle starts again. And who knows what happens? More and more attachments, more and more trouble. Become a child again and be thrashed in this sansar. I see, this body is just a mechanism. Body ek ghar hai. Body is a vastra hai ek. Vasansi chirnani yatha vihai. This is not who we are. We are Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva. Or iska realization before the body ends. Akhand bhakti, akhand vritti. But if this time is there, not to waste 1 second even. This is the kind of awakening, real, shuddha, as Shankaracharya ji ke shabd hai, tivra mumukshutvam. Sachin is not saying, Sachin is only giving nirupan for Sachin. Just sharing what the sages have said. If somebody doesn't want all this thing, koi baat nahi. Have a one-way pass into the womb. That's the only place that Jivatma is going to go. One-way pass. You cannot go anywhere else. Sooner or later we'll wind up in the womb. Maybe going to Svarga, Narka, whatever, come back again. That is the spiritual law in the Sanatan scriptures. So again, I'll close with this one simple point. These ideas are not just ideas. Srimad Bhagavatam, Vachanamrut, Shikshapatri, Bhagavad Gita, these Sanatan scriptures, Vedas, Upanishads, this is not somebody's imagination. From ancient times, rishis have seen all of these ideas and they said this is what is happening. And they can, and in Yoga Samadhi, when a bhakta reaches Samadhi, we can see the cycle of birth and death. You can see all this thing. It's not coming from some imagination. So this is why they have shown how to utilize our body, mind, etc. to go from the state of bhog into yoga, and that yoga is bhakti. And so nothing to be scared of, but that is the possibility in life. Baki to chalta hi hai, kaam, krodh, lobh, moh, matsar, isme kya nayi baat hai? There's nothing new in that. What's new? What is new in that? One can live like a pashu, or one can attach to Pashupatinath. It's up to us. So I took a little extra few minutes here extra. Om Dhyanamulam Guror Murti Mantramulam Guror Vakyam Pujamulam Guror Padam Mokshamulam Guror Krupa Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalavachanam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Sadgurum Tam Namami Om Aim Rim Klim Chamandai Vicha Om Glom Hum Klim Jumsa Jwalaya Jwalaya Jwala Jwala Prajwala Prajwala Aim Rim Klim Chamandai Viche Jwala Ham Samlam Ksham Hat Swaha Om Sarvamangal Mangale Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharannitrambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Kara Charanakatam Kayajam Karmajam Shravananajam Manasam Paradam Vihitam Abhitam Sarva Metat Shamasva Jai Jai Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho Om Divalingaya Nama Urdhvalingaya Nama Anandalingaya Nama Om Dvadash Jyotirlingaya Namo Namaha Om Chandraya Nama Suryaya Nama Nakshatra Vigramate Nama Om Kalakantakataya Nama Om Brahmacharine Nama Om Urdhvaretase Namaha Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Shri Durga Arpanamastu Om Shri Radha Krishnar Parnamastu.